Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. The title of this video talks about cannabis and same-sex marriage or gay marriage here in Thailand. And I want to be clear, the actual thrust of this video is not going to really be much into the substantive issues of either of those particularly referenced topics. It's more this issue, the difference between decriminalized and legalized. What am I talking about here? I thought of making this video after reading a recent article from the Bangkok Post, bangkokpost.com. Article is titled, "Thailand Moves Closer to Legalizing Casinos to Prop Up Tourism." That was an interesting title unto itself. Again, the thrust of this article goes in a very different direction. I'm going to talk about it from just this one excerpt standpoint. Quoting directly, in 2022, Thailand became the first country in Asia to decriminalize cannabis and is on course to become the first in Southeast Asia to legalize same-sex marriage. Well, let's be clear. They're both legalized. Actually, same-sex marriage is in the process. We're still promulgating law on that. But Thailand, again, as we've discussed procedurally, Anutin Chanvirakul, when he was the head of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Public Health, he specifically pulled this using under the emergency decree. He pulled cannabis off the narcotics list. As a result, pursuant to the doctrine of codification, as I understand it, in a civil law context, you have to specifically write a law to make something illegal or write a law in such a way that precludes someone specific or precludes a certain activity, function, whatever, that precludes something in order for it to be illegal. So for example, marriage up to this point has always been defined as between a man and a woman. So a same-sex marriage was not illegal because under codified law, it needed to be between a man and a woman. Now, they're legalizing same-sex marriage, but I think it's funny that the media does not use the word legalize when talking about cannabis. They talk about decriminalize, which is a nonsense word. Something is either illegal or it is not. And for something to be decriminalized means the police have just chose to not enforce the law against it. In this case, what happened, albeit through sort of a procedural, let's call it through an unorthodox procedural mechanism, the Minister of Public Health at the time was able to delist cannabis as a narcotic, thereby, pursuant to the doctrine of codification, making it legal in Thailand. So I find it, on the one hand, I can see where, for example, a body like the Bangkok Post or an organ like the Bangkok Post would say, well, you know, we're going through the parliamentary process to legalize same-sex marriage, so we'll use that phrase. In this other thing, it's a little more nebulous. My opinion, it's not nebulous at all, but I can see how a layperson might think it is. And they've said, a layperson in any context, by the way, I'm a layperson when it comes to Thai law, insofar as, you know, I'm not a Thai attorney, I've never claimed to be one. But again, I have a JD and I've engaged in comparative law for going on 2 decades now. And long story short, you know, it's my understanding the doctrine of codification, something is either explicitly illegal as pursuant to promulgated law, or it is not. And if it's not specifically noted as being illegal in the law, then it is not presumed to be illegal. So the thing to take away from this video and understand is, or what I'm trying to convey in this is, I haven't loved the way the media will on certain things say, oh, this is legalized, but on other things they'll say it's decriminalized, which again, these are semantic points, but they're semantic points to be made because it does look to me, or has looked to me, like under certain circumstances there have been certain nudges one way or the other with regard to the public's perception of what the posture of different issues are here in Thailand from a legal perspective.